My name is Lauren Staten. My group and I have been working with the Laramie Animal Shelter to share their ethical standards that they have for their employees and volunteers. We are using the Daniels Fund Ethical Initiative principles to help us do just that. Of the 8 principles, we chose the 3 that we thought the Laramie Animal Shelter expressed the most after talking to an animal control officer and visiting the shelter. The 3 we picked are trust, transparency, and viability. This project has allowed this group to learn more about how ethical businesses work and how their employees enjoy the culture that they work in. The most important piece was getting to visit the shelter and see exactly what level of care and ethics that they represent. I will pass it off to Paige to talk about trust, followed by Gentry to talk about transparency, Josh to talk about viability, and Ethan to wrap everything up. Trust is a big thing when you're working in the business setting. It doesn't just involve trust between employees, but also involves the trust between employees and customers, along with trust between different businesses that are in the same industry. In order to have trust between everyone, it is important that companies come up with common goals together.
Good morning, Mr. Noble and class. My name is Gentry and today I'll be interviewing Mr. Nay at the local Laramie Animal Shelter, covering the DFEI principle transparency. Mr. Nay, thank you for giving us this opportunity to interview you.
Thank you.
To begin with, Mr. Nay, in your own personal words, what does transparency mean to you?
Transparency is important here at the shelter because we're utilizing it as a way to build trust with our community, so that if someone is bringing us their animal to find it a new home, or if they're seeking advice from us in terms of trying to deal with a problem that they're encountering with their animal in their home. Maybe he's 5 or 6 years old and he's decided he's going to eat the sofa all of a sudden. We want to make sure that we're offering them good, accurate information. And we want to try to make sure that by being as honest as we possibly can and having our operations from day to day be transparent, that helps us build trust with the community, so that they know that we're a good resource for them, that they know that we're a good place in terms of bringing their animal or even having their animal housed here short term as a stray.
Thank you. Finally, what does your work value transparency?
It absolutely does, and for the reasons we just talked about. We can't do our job and be trusted by our community members if we're not transparent and tell them, this dog came in and it got adopted, that dog came in and it went to rescue, this kitty cat was feral and was not safe to place with another home, so maybe that kitty cat got humanely euthanized, but this kitty cat was more of a barn type kitty, so we found it a blue collar kitty cat placement. We're going to be very transparent with the public, otherwise they won't trust us to bring animals to us. We have to be transparent with them in terms of how we operate, so they can see that our facility is clean, we're not closed door. They can walk all through our entire facility and see that the place is clean, that the animals have things to do while they're here. We have to be very transparent to continue to have that trust and to build it in the first place.
Thank you, Mr. Nay.
You're welcome.
Ms. Gwynn, how have the rules, regulations, and policies from the City of Laramie, Laramie Police Department, and Laramie Animal Shelter help this business maintain its reputation and credibility while being transparent?
The Laramie Police Department has general orders that all employees, whether they're sworn or non-sworn, have to follow. The City of Laramie also has a handbook. Some of the specific general orders that help with transparency, we have a code of conduct that explains what people that are employed by the police department can and cannot do, what's acceptable behavior and what's not, and how we need to interact with the public. We also have a complaint general order, because law enforcement loves general orders. That complaint general order says that we will take any complaint from any person about anything in any of our operations, and we will investigate those. You don't even have to give us your name. You can call us on the phone, we'll investigate. So that, I believe, helps with transparency, because if something's going wrong, people should not be afraid to contact us to say, hey, something's wrong, and I want you to look into it. The more basic general orders that we have are in reference to records requests. So if you want to see a police report or an animal control report, all of that is covered under the open records laws, and as long as the case is closed, anyone can get those. You can also get recordings from our dispatch center under the same requests.
Thank you, Ms. Gwynn.
Laramie Animal Shelter is viable. Wanting a dog, cat, or bunny, they have a shelter full of lovable animals ready to be taken home. It will help you with making the adoption successful to your liking. Along with successfulness, they also are successful at maintaining the animal's health while they're at the animal shelter. Laramie Animal Shelter has goals that they succeed on a daily basis and want to continue to succeed in every possible way.
Trust, viability, and transparency. All principles held in high regard at the Laramie Animal Shelter. If you're looking to adopt, we all highly endorse this great organization and encourage you to stop by 1064 North 5th Street in Laramie or call 307-721-5385. On behalf of Lauren, Josh, Paige, Gentry, and I just want to say thank you to the Laramie Animal Shelter and Kent Noble, the Bill Daniels Chair of Business Ethics at the University of Wyoming, for allowing us the opportunity to take part in this project.